100 for 100. The podcast wherein we take 100 movies that I, your host, Seed, think that the people who are just getting into watching movies should check out. I put together a list of 100 of these bad boys, and then I ranked them from 100 to 1 because it sounded like a good idea when I started this project, and now I'm realizing I'm an idiot. But we're in the 70s now. We're in the 70s. And each one of these is accompanied by a 100-word review. Hence the title of the show, 100 for 100. And we will drop one a day for the first 100 days of 2020. And today's joint, we're at number 78, if you remember correctly. Yesterday, we talked about Menace to Society. So go ahead and check that out. Directed by Alan and Albert Hughes. Gritty film. But today, we're taking a different avenue, man. Number 78 here. We're going a little bit comedic. We're going with the Big Lebowski. 1998. Directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. This movie is just, when you talk about comedies, one of the most important things I think is a must in a comedic film is how quotable is it? What are people going to be quoting from this joint down the line? And this movie has that in spades. But before we get into that, let's get into this 100-word review that I have provided for you for the Big Lebowski. What happens when a regular everyday man gets caught up in a tangled web of greed, porn, and nihilists? You get the Big Lebowski, a cult favorite film that spawned a new generation of men comfortable in sweaters, sweatpants, and scraggly beards. This absurd comedy of mistaken identity throws Jeffrey Lebowski into a situation he is ill-equipped to handle that takes the viewer through a meandering tour of Los Angeles in the late 90s. With a stellar over-the-top performance from John Goodman, matched with a mellow delivery by Steve Buscemi, this noirish crime romp really ties Hollywood together. Look, man, when people talk about cult classics, two movies pop into my head immediately. It's Clerks and there's the Big Lebowski. It's another example of a movie that didn't do great in theaters, but almost everybody I know that's seen it loves it. I mean, they have Lebowski fests for crying out loud. And there's a whole bunch of overweight dudes in their comfortable sweaters and sweatpants and scraggly beards and shades out there drinking White Russians or Caucasians, another Caucasian Jackie. And you just generally, and out there bowling, having a good time, man. In between this and Kingpin, man, bowling was the business in the 90s. We need to get back to the great bowling epics of the 90s. We need to bring that bad boy back. Julianne Moore is incredible in this movie as the straight-laced Maud, his special lady friend. You get Tara Reid there as Bunny LaJoya. I think Peter Stormare, isn't he one of the nihilists? And a wonderful turn from Philip Seymour Hoffman as Brent. There is not enough Brent in this movie. I screamed that from the rooftops since I first seen it. Or maybe it's just enough. Maybe a little bit more and I would have got sick of him. But Flea, I do believe, is also in the movie somewhere. There's just so much good shit, just random plot lines that don't really seem to go anywhere. Like the nihilists kind of do it, kind of don't fit into it. The whole porn business with Jackie Treehorn, he treats objects like women, man. It is, I think, Jeff Bridges' best performance. And as a performance that he really embodied. Like, he just seems like that kind of laid back, chill dude. And he kind of brings a little bit of that to Tron Legacy as well. Just kind of a laid back Zen guy, which I feel like that's kind of what Jeff Bridges is in real life. But The Big Lebowski is a wonderful movie. It's not for everybody's sense of humor because there are a small handful of people that are like, I don't get it. Not that they didn't like it. I know a couple people that say that they don't get why it is as popular as it is. Maybe it takes a certain sense of humor. But then again, of course, all comedy is subjective, as we will find out in our next Paprika draft when we do best comedy. Check out Big Lebowski if you haven't. And if it's been a while, I advise you to just pour yourself up a beverage of your choice or a harder substance if that's something you're into, like the dude himself. Put on some Creedence Clearwater and check out The Big Lebowski, man. It is a great Friday night. Call up your friends, have them bring over some drinks, and just sit down and enjoy the film. So, number 78, The Big Lebowski. Man,